Okay, hello again. It's been a while. Been a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, but it took longer than expected to develop the basic idea because I'm back with a new series called The Visual Tarot. So I could have just kept doing 5-minute tarots, but as you know, they were longer than 5 minutes. But I wanted to do something a bit more structured. And this is what you get with the visual tarot. I'm saying structured, even though I know that the tarot is kind of random and you're not supposed, we ought not to expect the tarot to be organized, but because it sort of deals with questions and problems that exist in that moment for the questioner. So it's not like you're giving people rules and regulations, because what works for one person today may not work for that same person tomorrow, and probably wouldn't work for various other people today or tomorrow. And one of the values of the tarot is that it's particularly good at, or we can use cards to give specific, relevant, important information to the questioner to help them answer the question or to help them deal with the situation that they're asking about. So instead of the 5-minute tarot, I'm thinking the visual tarot, and there are two prongs. On the one hand, I'll look at cards, and not so much what they mean, but more what sense they make. And I've said this before, but we'll look at cards and the activity and the action going on within the illustration, within the picture, and we'll relate that type of behavior or activity or action to the question that was asked. But at the same time, I want to tell you about RightNote, which is a note-taking program. In a way, it's a bit like Evernote. You may be more familiar with Evernote, but I like RightNote better because you can have a file, and then you can have a sibling, or you can have a child of that file and a child of the child. And because the tarot is already organized into major and minor trumps, for instance, and we've got 4 suits, and we've got the ace through to the 10, we've got kings, queens, knights, and pages. Somehow, the fact that we can have children, or we can have files and children and grandchildren and so on, I think RightNote works more easily and more immediately to give you a kind of structure. And that means that when some people, when they turn a card, they don't know quite what to do. And so if we can use RightNote, then whatever your difficulty might be, assuming that you have a difficulty, you're going to be able to organize the material and ideas about the tarot into something that works for you, and you set it up your way. And I'll talk you through and show you RightNote as I'm setting it up now, because it's a kind of journey of exploration, and we'll see what we discover by developing ideas in or within RightNote. And then you can download the program, which happens to be free. There's a paid version, but the free version is very capable too. So you can have your own version of RightNote and your own section of the visual tarot. But I'm thinking the first few parts of this series, I'll work with RightNote and show you what I'm doing with it. And then I'll get to the point where I can begin to, or you can begin to download my version of RightNote if you want, or my version of the file. So you can have your tarot notes, and then you can also have access to what I'm showing you on screen. And then you can incorporate or add to or organize or reorganize what I've given you, as well as what you come up with by yourself. So that's the general idea for this series. And so next we're going to look at, I'm going to show you RightNote and where it is and what to do with it and how to set it up. So here's RightNote. Okay, I want to show you how RightNote works. And so I'm going to take you through. I've got a few screenshots here. So if we start with RightNote, RightNote, and this is Google. I think it's Firefox. And so we click on here. It's probably going to be the first one, and you come to the Bauer Apps homepage. And here we've got information about the program, and then you can go down and take a look at what it does and how it works. So we click on download, which is here, and that takes you to this page where you choose the download version that you want. And once it's downloaded and you open it, you get the option of opening the 30-day trial, which you may as well do, or you can go straight to the free version, which is a kind of less complete version of the original program. I actually I bought the original. And it's over here somewhere. Oh no. Here it is. Okay, so this is what it looks like. You've got the tree on the left-hand side with titles and files and documents, and then you've got in a space here where you can type additional information or whatever it happens to be. If you go to view the resource panel, it appears over on the right, and you can search for a word or a text or whatever it happens to be. You've also got a history section where you can see where you've just been, and so you can quickly and easily navigate from one document to the other. Let me just go and we'll close that. There's a shortcut for that. Okay, so I'm going to start with a new page, and so you go to page new. And then I'm going to call it the Visual Tarot, Visualtarot. And this is what a new note or a new page looks like. So we're going to have a tree down here. And one of the reasons I like RightNote instead of Evernote, for instance, is you can move you put the cursor over here and you can increase or decrease the amount of space that you've got. But the reason I like RightNote is because you can go here and you go up to can't see it. I'm so used to this, I don't ever think about it. Okay, you right click on there and you can add a child, and this is one of the things about it. So let's say we call default note and we call it the tarot. Oh. And then maybe the first point we make is we're going to call this 78 cards. And that becomes a topic. And what do we say? There are 78 cards in a deck. And maybe at this point we remember we've got 22 plus 56, and 56 is 4 times 14. And that in itself can be interesting, that if we think about there's 22 major trumps and we have 4 lots of 14 instead of 4 suits, there are four versions of 14 cards. There are 4 versions of the ace, 4 versions of the 3 of the different suits. So maybe what you do is instead of 22, maybe we've got 21 plus 1 plus 4 times 14. So it's a different way of thinking about it. We've got 21 major trumps and the fool, or maybe we've got the fool and 21, and then we've got 4 lots of minor trumps, including the court cards. So at this point, I think what we do is we make random note. If we have a random idea, we just make a note of it and we think about it later. Or maybe something occurs to us when we're walking or when we're doing something else, and then we add it to the notes that we've been making. And in this, we would build up a database of meanings and ideas and possible interpretations of different cards and typical questions. So maybe what we do is we go here and we write down typical questions. So will I get married? Might be a typical question that people ask. And so you think about, how would you answer a question like, will I get married? Are you going to say yes or no and leave it at that? And to say yes, that's not that useful to the person. Maybe it's reassuring, because somebody might know, will I have children? And so you can say yes, you will, or no, you won't. But again, if you say yes, you will, that can be reassuring for the person, but it's not that helpful. So maybe what we have to do is think about the kind of answer that we're going to give. Will I have children? And so we go yes. And then what are we going to say? And so we write down, we use the card to give information about the child. Is one way of doing it. And so the information about the card. So maybe what we do is we think about, if the child is represented by the Four of Cups, what kind of child is it going to be? It's a child who is slow to act. Maybe, because the person in the Four of Cups. And maybe what I'll do at this point is I'm going to go to typical questions, and I'm going to write down the Suit of Cups, and then right click on Cups, and then I'm going to add a child, and we've got the Four of Cups. And so I'm going to then go back to the internet, and I'm going to go to, where is it here? Yeah. Okay, Tarot Card Cross-Reference. I'll give you the link, and then there's the Four of Cups. And with this particular website, Tarot Card Cross-Reference, you get illustrations of all the different cards in the Rider deck. So here I'm going to right click, and we're going to save the image as, and I'm going to put it on the desktop and hope I can find it. And it's going to be Four Cups. Okay, it's now on the desktop somewhere. So we go back to here, and then we're going to insert a picture, and we're going to go to the desktop, and ideally we'll find the Four of Cups, and we go here, and now we've got a handy illustration for the Four of Cups, and here we could go sitting quietly. So you can add ideas and information about the card. It's based on the illustration, which you've got conveniently located in the same file. And you can also, we go here and we can change the font and the size and so on. So sitting quietly. So to go back to typical questions, if the card, better change the spelling on that, S-L-O-W, slow to act. So will I have children? We get the Four of Cups, yes, because the card is upright. So yes, you will. And what kind of person will it be? Somebody who is slow to act, who thinks carefully before they take action, because you've got the illustration here, and the person's sitting thinking, and they're examining, or the focus is on what's in front of them, and they see what's there, but they're not probably easily going to see this alternative or this other possibility that's over on the right-hand side. So you put that together. So what kind of child is it going to be? Slow to act, So you, the mother who is asking the question, have to be patient. Okay, because if you've got the Four of Cups, who is a child who's slow to act and who maybe doesn't like surprises. And so a different child or another person, you give them a surprise and they're happy about it and it's exciting and they're interested and they want to know what's going on and they want to know more. But with this child represented by the Four of Cups, if you surprise them with something, they're not going to know immediately what to do. So you have to give them time. And the mother and the father ideally has to be patient and not expect that the child is going to immediately see the possibilities. But they have to be, you don't spring things on them. So that's the kind of thing you can do with the Four of Cups. And maybe what will I get married? The same idea. If the answer is yes, what card do you get? And so you could, for instance, pick a card at random and then use it to answer the question, will I get married? And then if you get, for instance, I can't think of a card. Let me go back to, if I can find it. Is it here? Yeah. So we go back one, and let's say we get the Seven of Pentacles. Oh no, that's too much the same. Well, not too much the same, but we've got this. The Four of Cups person is sitting, considering carefully before acting, and the Seven of Pentacles. Maybe I hadn't really thought of what I was going to do here. We're going to save this image, and we're going to call it the Seven of Coins, and it's on the desktop. So we go back to RightNote, and here we've got the Suit of Cups. We're going to do coins. And then we're going to right click and do a child, and we're going to do the Seven of Coins. And then we're going to go here, and then we're going to insert a picture and same place. So there's the Seven of Coins. Okay. And then I'm going to write down thinking carefully. So the Four of Cups is probably also thinking carefully. So we've got similarities between the Four of Cups and the Seven of Coins. They're both about thinking and being patient and looking. Because remember, this whole series is called the Visual Tarot. And let me go back to here, and we're saying the visual. So it's the picture. And it's what is going on in the picture that is important. So it's not meanings, but more what actions, activities, or don't know what else to say there, so I'm leaving it blank for the moment. So we get the Seven of Coins here. What's the difference between the Four of Cups and the Seven of Coins? They're both about thinking, but this person is standing, whereas this person in the Four of Cups is sitting. So, and I'm going to write has to get up before he can move. I mean, he can roll over, but if he's going to take action, he has to first stand up and then he can move. Whereas the Seven of Pentacles is already standing up, so can move immediately. So if the Four of Cups comes up, then you can't immediately take action. You need to know what you want to do. Then there's a couple of intermediate steps before you can take action. Whereas with the Seven of Coins, you can drop the baton and start walking, start moving. So the 7 of Pentacles is quicker than the 4 of Coins. So again, we go back to the question, let's say, should I go for promotion? With the 4 of Cups, think about it, think it through, and see what effect or what potential effect going for a promotion is going to have on different areas of your life. Whereas with the 7 of Pentacles, if you're going to go for a promotion, it's like one step and you're there, or one step and you've got the interview, for instance. Whereas here with the 4 of Cups, there's a lot more consideration before you take action. So you get the idea that maybe, yes, go for the promotion, but not for a couple of months. Whereas 7 of Pentacles, yes, go for promotion and look for it tomorrow. There's a less time will pass between taking action with the 7 of Pentacles as we would get with the 4 of Cups. So we've got here, we can add more. We could put the 8 or the 9 and you can fill out the whole thing, and you've got the illustration and you can have an idea and you've got different ideas to develop. So if we go to here, okay, no, I'm going to stop now and go back to me talking while I've been talking, but I'll go back and finish up this video. Okay. Okay, that was RightNote, and in the next couple of days, you're going to get part 2, where I think we're going to look more at RightNote and discuss the tarot and more information about what it is and what it does and what a card might show and what sort of answer it might give to a question. So I'll work with and type stuff into RightNote. If you have comments or questions, leave them down below, and subscribe and tell your friends and all that kind of stuff that we're supposed to do to get the number of subscribers up. So that's it for the moment. And if you want regular, several times a week, new videos, you're going to get it. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you, if not tomorrow, then the day after. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.